Hello, Eurovision friends. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories, for another chart update on the songs of Eurovision 2025. We're only a few days after the grand final, and this is always, almost always, the most exciting time to look at the charts because everyone has now seen these performances, heard the songs, and people are starting to listen to them, and lots of them are streaming in lots of countries, charting in lots of countries. And I'm very happy for the artists. It shows how big of a platform Eurovision is. But we also see in some of these chart results that maybe the voting system at Eurovision needs a bit of an overhaul because some of these results are very different from what we saw at Eurovision. And then it's always interesting also to see whether there's a sleeper hit, as I would call it, like a Rosalyn with Snap, who didn't even manage to come top 20 in Eurovision, but then had the biggest hit of the year with Snap, her Eurovision song, which now has over 1 billion streams already. So we'll look at all that. But before doing that, I want to look at the overall streaming numbers at the moment. We're not at the billions yet for any of these songs. But so we can see that Bara Bara Bastu is still the most streamed Eurovision song at a whopping 51 million streams. If someone knows whether this is the most streamed Swedish language song, let us know in the comments because I'm very interested to know that. I couldn't quite find the info on that. Very happy for Kai for this huge success. Even though they didn't win Eurovision, they still have a great bump in their career. Then Volevo Essere Enduro and Lucio Corsi, also very happy for him at 43 million streams. A lot of those obviously from Italy and a lot of the streams for Sweden from Finland and Sweden. But more and more people outside of their main markets are learning about the song. And so I think these numbers will go up even more in the next couple of weeks. Espresso Macchiato has really gone up the ranking, now at 21 million streams. We'll see why in a second. C'est la vie and Claude at 20 million and Esa Diva at 18 million. However, Balla from Germany is also going up and up and up and could overtake Esa Diva soon. And Tutta l'Italia is also still at 18 million streams. So well done on all of this. Now let's have a look at the charts as they are at the moment. And we're starting with Spotify. By the way, Wasted Love is also going up and up and up. As you can see, it's leading the pack at the moment on Spotify. Very happy for JJ as well, a very young artist. I think this is one of his first songs, and it's already #1 in Switzerland, on Spotify in Austria, in Luxembourg as well. So Luxembourg have apparently really embraced Eurovision, which is very lovely to see. But it's in the top 5 in Germany as well, a big, big market, especially for JJ coming from Austria. I think he could really build a career here in Germany. Then also in Finland and Sweden and Belgium and Lithuania, Estonia and Iceland, it's in the top 5, which is amazing. But you can see it is really charting in so many different countries. Doing well in the UK, also 41st in the UK on Spotify. That's not an easy feat. And 23rd global. We haven't seen that in my chart update videos yet, but now these songs are actually in the global Spotify chart, and that can also be helpful because I know a lot of people that listen to the top 100, I think, or top 200 global songs, and if they hear these songs, they might add them to the playlist, and that can increase the streams even more. So again, very happy for JJ, and it makes sense that our Eurovision winner is among the most streamed songs. But then you already see in second place, the second most streamed artists are Aber and Tünner with Baller, the German entry. And it's quite impressive what they managed to do. And the second Austrian on this list, so the 2 Austrian artists this year are leading the pack. So well done for that as well. It's #1 in Lithuania. I've heard a lot of people say that this song is very popular in Lithuania and the Baltics in general, but also in Lithuania especially. And you can see #1 in Lithuania, #2 in Latvia, #2 in Germany, which is great for them, #2 in Estonia, #4 in Luxembourg, Austria, Poland, Ukraine, Switzerland, Finland, and Iceland. It's in the top 10 in all of these countries. And we saw a lot of the votes for Baller came from Eastern Europe. And it seems to be very popular. You can see in Poland, Ukraine in 4th position. So maybe there's something in the song that has a sound that appeals to a lot of people, especially in East and Central Europe, but also in Northern Europe, you can see. It's 46th in the UK, which is also impressive, 59th on the global Spotify chart. And then it's charting even in countries that aren't even participating in Eurovision, like Hungary, Slovakia, and Bulgaria. Then in third position, we have the second place on the televote, so that makes sense as well. Tommy Cash, Espresso Macchiato, doing really well in a lot of countries, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Austria, Sweden, and Finland. He's number 2. I think because in all of these countries, another song from Eurovision is number 1, which again shows you how great of a platform Eurovision is. And it's actually in the top 10 of more countries than Balla, and I think also Wasted Love, if I see that correctly, doing really well in Germany, in the Netherlands, Estonia, the Baltics, Israel, Greece, 27th in the UK. That's crazy to me. 35th on the global Spotify chart, so doing extremely well. And in fourth position on Spotify at the moment, it's Kai with Bara Bara Bastu doing well in the Nordics and Baltics especially, but also in Switzerland, Latvia, Austria, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Belgium, Poland. I mean, look at that. Number 10 in Germany, which is lovely. Probably the first Swedish song that has made it to the top 10 on Spotify in Germany, I would guess. If you have different information, let me know. 37th in the UK. So the UK really is streaming a lot of Eurovision songs right now, which is cool. And then 46 on the global Spotify chart as well. And again, this is charting in Hungary, in Italy, in Portugal, in Slovakia, lots of places. Really, really cool for Kai. And then last but not least, and this makes me very, very happy, let me switch myself off, Lucio Corsi for Italy, doing so well in a lot of countries, especially the Baltics and Central Europe, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Switzerland, and Austria. It's in the top 10, but also doing well, as you can see, in lots of other countries. 19th in Germany. The ratings in Germany were very, very good this year, so that probably helps a lot of these songs do well in Germany. 181st globally, so well done to him as well. Let me switch myself on again. Then next we have Lighter, Kyle Alessandro, doing so well as well in lots of countries. As you can see, I'm not going to list them all. Best in Norway, his own country, but also well in Iceland, Ukraine, Lithuania, Estonia, Switzerland, Austria. Switzerland and Austria are very Eurovision in a Eurovision fever at the moment, I think. So that might be why a lot of the entries are charting in those two. The Baltics love Eurovision, the Nordics love Eurovision. So yeah. Erika Wickman doing well as well. I thought this might do even a bit better than this. Is it charting in Germany? 59th. Okay, that's fine. But in the other German-speaking countries, 17th in Austria and 27th in Switzerland. Well done to her as well. Claude and C'est la vie, number 1 in the Netherlands. They really love this song. And for his career in the Netherlands, I think that means a great deal. And otherwise, doing well in a couple of countries. And then this is interesting, I think, our televote winner not doing that well on the streaming charts. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries above it. And the country that got 0 points in the televote, Switzerland, is doing practically as well as New Day Will Rise. So yeah, interesting. Then Luan and Maman for France, doing well as well. By the way, sorry, Zoe, I'm very happy for her as well, doing so well in a few countries, even though she got the 0 on in the televote. France, good results in a lot of countries, but they probably expected a bit more of a push for Luan's career. I think it might actually be the song. If people aren't listening to the song, that probably means it wasn't as good as Slimans or Voila, who did much better on the streaming charts after Eurovision. It's not Luan, absolutely not. I think it is the song that a lot of people didn't find as great. I love it. I said that a few times, but yeah. Deslocado and Napa still number 1 in Portugal, which is really cool. I mean, even if you don't do as well in other streaming charts in other countries, you do well in your own country, and that is already also amazing for these artists, because most of them won't have an international career, let's be honest, but they could have a career in their own country. And so I'm very happy for Clavdia being 2nd in Greece, Napa being 1st in Portugal. And so these are very good results for them as well. Germ is doing relatively well on a few charts as well. Catharsis still number 2 in Lithuania, and in the top 10 in Ukraine and Latvia and Estonia as well. really cool for them. Tautumeitas, wow. I thought people would only like to watch the performance, but they are actually streaming the song as well. I added it to my playlist again as well because I love the song. So that is doing really well. Tutta l'Italia I thought might do a bit better actually, but it did come very low in the public vote. So yeah, maybe people don't love it as much as I do. Apparently, that's the case. But you can see even Sissel, who got only 2 points from the televote, is doing relatively well in the streaming. You can look at the charts yourself. I don't want to make this video too long, but Spain is number 7 in Spain, which is cool. The UK entry doing relatively well. You see lots of entries doing quite well in a few countries. Let's also look at Apple Music. Tommy Cash, Espresso Macchiato is leading the pack here, but the top 5 is more or less the same. So these are apparently the most popular entries when it comes to streaming, at least. Tommy Cash in the top 5 in so many different countries. Look at that. Cyprus, Netherlands, Malta. I won't list them all. Sweden, Finland, Poland. A big market there as well for him. So he can be very happy. In the top 10 in Germany as well. Pretty impressive, to be quite honest. 72nd in the UK also. Then in second place, our winner, JJ from Austria, doing very well in Austria, in Malta, and Switzerland, and Azerbaijan as well. And look at that, also in the top 5 in a huge amount of countries. If it comes to the top 5, he should actually be in front of Tommy Cash, if I see that correctly. 5th in Germany, 5th in Poland, big markets there. 3rd in Sweden, 3rd in Armenia as well. So well done to him indeed. And then Kai and Badabadabastu is doing well again in the Nordics and the Baltics, and also charting in lots of different countries in the top 10. 11th in Germany as well. Sorry for focusing so much on Germany, but it's my own country, so it interests me a bit more. And again, Baller and Arborentuna doing incredibly well. First in Lithuania. So again, I guess Lithuanians love this entry. First in Poland. So it does really well in that region of Europe. First in Latvia. 3rd in Germany. 3rd in Estonia. And also doing well in Luxembourg and Austria and lots of other countries, as you can see there. And again, Lucio Corsi, Volevo essere un duro, doing very well indeed in a lot of countries. Slovenia, Malta, Estonia, Switzerland, Lithuania. If you are Lithuanian, let me know how it is to be a Eurovision fan there, because it looks like the whole country is streaming these entries. Must be lovely. Iceland is another one that usually appears on all of these charts quite a bit. Then Kyle Alessandro and Leiter doing well. Very happy for him. So people really like this song, even though it didn't do as well in Eurovision. Erika Wickman doing well, as you can see. Sissel, 2 points from the public vote, but doing very well on the streaming charts. Another indication that maybe we have to change something about the voting system, because apparently people like the song. And maybe these were people that voted for it once and now stream it 17 times, and they should be more represented maybe in the televote as well. And the juries should also maybe have given this a few more points. But anyway. Then Luan and Maman, again, not doing as well as I would have expected. So again, maybe it was the song that was the problem. C'est la vie doing well. I'm glad for Claude. I'm still glad for Luan, by the way. She's doing well in a lot of countries. I think she is the kind of artist that could build a career, even though her Eurovision song isn't doing as well. She has had hits in Germany, for example, before. And maybe now people remember her and she can, has a foot in the door again. I hope that for her, because she's an amazing artist. Claude still also number 1 in the Netherlands on Apple Music, doing really well, and also charting in a bunch of other countries. And again, our televote winner, New Day Will Rise, not doing as well as 10 other countries on the streaming on Apple Music, but doing well in her own country, Israel, but also Lithuania, Switzerland, and Cyprus, Luxembourg doing pretty well. Mirjana Conte doing quite well, but she got 8 points from the public and is doing relatively well, if you consider that. Same thing for Deslocado and for Zoe May. Also didn't get that many points from the public vote. Zoe May didn't get any, and they're still doing well on the charts. So again, maybe there has to be some change. And you can see the others. I don't want to make this video too long, sorry. Oh, I wanted to mention that as well. Kedia and Cha 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 charting again in a few countries after the performance in the final. And you can also see Baby Lasagna there doing quite well. Let's look at iTunes last but not least. So on iTunes, you see the televote winner doing better here. Number 1 in Israel, number 2 in Belgium, number 3 in France, Switzerland, number 4 in Norway and Sweden. Talking about Yuval Raphael, obviously, but also here Tommy Cash leading the pack. First in a bunch of countries. You can see them all there, including Spain and Sweden. Really cool for him. And look in how many countries it is actually charting. New Zealand as well. That's fun. And Kai Badabadasu in second place, doing well in Belgium, Norway, Slovakia, Sweden, Switzerland. And again here, our winner, Wasted Love, doing a bit worse than in the streaming. But I think iTunes is actually not that popular with a lot of people anymore. I can't find data on this. I'm guessing that iTunes is used more by older people and the streaming platforms by younger people, but I can't find any real good data on that. Abor and Tuna and Baller again doing really well, despite only coming 15th, but doing well in Germany, Lithuania, Austria, Greece, and a bunch of other countries. 17th in the UK, which is really cool. And yeah, Lucio Corsi, Sissel again doing really well, 8th in the UK. So I'm guessing that iTunes is not that popular in the UK anymore, maybe. But very happy for Sissel as well. Happy for Melody doing so well in a bunch of countries. Claude, Maman. And you can see if you go down, almost every entry this year is charting. There you see Kedia again doing well, and Nemo as well. So you can really say that Eurovision is a great platform for all of these artists. And I'm going to do more chart updates as the charts change. I'm guessing that some of these entries will go up. A few of them will go down as well after the Eurovision fever is over in a bunch of these countries. But it will be interesting to see how it develops, whether one of these songs maybe becomes a summer hit. I would bet on Baller maybe being a summer hit, maybe also Barabarabastu and Espresso Macchiato. But we shall see how it develops. If you don't want to miss that, subscribe to the channel, and then I might see you for my next chart update and also my next video. See you then, and bye bye.